Good evening, everybody. Today, I want to talk about what we call Katina Ceremony. Katina Ceremony. Before I want to just to start with this, that I want to mention about that in India and in the Far East, what we call Thailand and Burma, because of the constellation of the land, so the weather is acting differently from Europe. We know about 4 seasons normally. Here we are in Europe, we have 4 seasons. But in India and Nepal, because of how the land is built and all this desert and things like this, so the weather is behaving a little bit different. And we don't have there 4 seasons. We have 3 seasons, a little bit different. And how the 3 season is built, it's also according to the weather, of course. So you have a time that it's cool season. It's starting from in India and Thailand, this is the New Year. It's in November, about November time, because we are talking about the moon calendars. So from November till March, it's cold. It's cold and no rain. Normally for us, if it's cold, it should be rain also. But in the Far East, when it's cold, it's not rain. So it's called cold season, okay, cold season. And from March, it's starting to change. It became very hot, but still dry. Okay, so most of the year it's dry. And it became very hot, so it became hot season. And the hot season continued till June, okay, till July. And from July, the weather continued to be hot, okay, but that time starting to be rainy, okay, because of, if you know about a little bit, in the north is desert, in the south there is a sea, so the cloud is moving very, very fast, and how much it will be more hot, it will be more distance between the pressure of the air in the north and the south. So the clouds moving very, very fast and bringing a lot of water from the oceans to China, okay, north of India. So that's why it actually became what we call monsoon season. And the monsoon season starting from the hot time in July. July, so it's again from July till November, till it start to be cool. It became a lot of rainy, the water coming very fast. You look at the sky, after 30 minutes already, the cloud is coming and washing. You can see the clouds coming to you very fast. So this is called monsoon season. Okay, and we are actually in the monsoon season. We are in this period of time. And we are in the 3rd month, because every season it's about 4 months, taking about 4 months. Okay, so altogether it became 12 months. You divide to 4 months, 4 months, 4 months, we get 3 seasons. Okay, and why I mention it, because today we are on the full moon on the 3rd month of the rainy season. And this is in the time of, we are calling it October or September, October, but in the time of the Buddha, they call different names. Yeah, it's called Asayaja. Okay, Asayaja, this is the name of the month. This is what we call, what in Pali, we say it's a Vassa time, or in Thai, we use the word of pansa. We change it to pansa, but actually the meaning of Vassa. Vassa, what we call monsoon. The rain is like a Vassa, like a bush. Okay, so that's how it's come. The same words, like a Vassa in German, or water. And the Buddha actually, what happened is that in this time that it's so much rainy. So the monk normally during the year, they are starting to wander around. They are wandering around. But because there is so much water and rainy, and it's very difficult. So it became difficult for the monk to travel. Okay. And also there is a lot of animals, like different kind of insects and kind of animals, and flowers, they are living in the land. So when the monk is wandering around, he's stepping on these animals and plants and killing. Okay, so to prevent these two things, the Buddha said to the monk, you have to stay in one place. So one thing is that the monk will not struggle. It's very difficult to travel because of the rain. It's not like today. We use a car, we use airplanes. But at the time, the monk was wandering around and walking in between the fields. So it's one thing. One reason is that the monk is. It's difficult for him to wander around in this period of time because suddenly the rain coming and everything muddy and this. Second, he might kill a lot of insect and plant to destroy plant. And another reason is that the people using this period of time to grow their fields for the rice and the soya and all these things. So they need a lot of water and hot. And what happens is when the monk is wandering going nearby, and suddenly these people working, they put a lot of effort on their fields, and they see the monk, so they're attracted and they're also polite. So they invite the monk and they start to ask him questions. They invite them home and they start to talk with them, and then they are wasting the time, disturbing the people to work. So these three reasons the Buddha said to the monk, during this period of time of the monsoon, which starting in July, and actually this monsoon, like I told you, it's finished on November. But the Buddha said to the monk to stay in one place because of these three reasons, but he gave them only 3 months. It means from these 4 months, he only limited them on 3 months, okay? So what is the reason? Because we call this period of time that the monks stay in one place the pansa, okay, rainy season. Today is the full moon, so the 3 months finish. So officially today the pansa finish, the Vassa finish for the monk. But what happens is that sometimes the monk in July want to look for a place, but still cannot find a place. So they are still wandering around, so they cannot reach to the place where to settle for the pansa. So the Buddha gave them the ability to do what we call second pansa, second Vassa, which means that the monk is not starting on the beginning of July, he's starting 1 month after this. It's not beginning, it's in the middle, it's the full moon. So it's the middle of the month of July. He will start on the middle of August. Okay, so this will be from the middle of August till November. So in November, officially, the rainy season is finished and New Year starts. So it means that there is first pansa and there is a second pansa. So for actually this month is very, very important for a monk. This considered to be normally if you want to say how many years you are, you say, I am this and this pansa, and 2 pansa, 3 pansa, 5 pansa, or whatever. So you count how many years you are as a monk according to the rainy season that you spend. And it's so important that if suppose the monkey will disrobe on the middle, it will not consider to be as a year for him. Something like it. He was not even 1 year monk. So this 3 months is very, very important according to Buddhism. Okay, now let's see. After that, my talk today is not about the pansa, and we talk about the pansa many times already. But why I mention about this, because subject of the talk today, like before I said, it's about Katina Ceremony. And what is the meaning actually Katina Ceremony? How it's related to us? What the meaning of the word Katina? First, I want to explain what the meaning of the word Katina. The word Katina actually the Katina itself is to bring things together. Okay, this is the Katina ceremony. It's a ceremony that the monk is doing, or the people making for the monk, after the pansa finish, after the rainy season finish. So that's why I talk about the rainy season. The Buddha himself, he make his first pansa, yeah, immediately after he get enlightened, the first time he meets the 5 students, so he starts with them their first pansa that he make. 3 months they stay together. In the very beginning, he was with the 5 monks, they get enlightened. Later on, one man named Vassa and his 54 friends joined to him, they all became enlightened. So at the end of the rainy season, when they finish the rainy season, Buddha had this 60 enlightened students. Then they start to travel after the pansa. They became the missionaries monks, the first 60 missionary monks. Okay, so this is about the pansa. And after the first pansa, I said that first pansa is from July till October. The second pansa is from August till November. Okay, so this is for the monks, which is not convenient. But there is a difference for the quality between the first pansa to the second pansa. If the monk finish completely without leaving any place, without any breaking the first pansa, they make Katina Ceremony. And now I'm going to talk about the Katina itself. So the Katina, the words Katina itself, there is about 4 ways to look at it, or 4 meanings. If we talk about commentaries, what the meaning of the word Katina. So one meaning of the word Katina, like I started before, is to bring things together. Okay, to collect the ceremony, which brings things together. And what kind of things coming together, for example, in this ceremony, the first, what kind of things? First, monk which make the first pansa, they are meeting in this ceremony together, okay? In the same temple. If they finish, they do the ceremony together, okay? So this is one thing. Second thing, it's monks by themselves. They coming together. Because they call it Katina Samaki. That's how they call it. Also lay people. They are meeting in this ceremony together. Okay, monks, they come, they invite monks from other groups. So there must be more than 5 monks. Because 4 monks is actually the Sangha. And 1 monk have to get this Katina, we call it Katina robe. Soon I will explain. You get the new clothes, actually. They give new clothes to the monks. Okay, and this is what we call Katina robes. Okay, Katina, and so the monk, they are getting together, and the people are offering this to the monk. So all this occasion that all the people meeting together, samagi is going to make together. They call it Katina. There's one reason that they get them together. Another, it's the robe season. Like I said, robe season month, Katina robes. So this is the only the first month after the rainy season. So this is another things that come together. The first Vassa, only the people make first Vassa. And the last things, the 4th things that come together, they mentioned, it's about the robes itself. The people, they don't ask the monk which color you want, what size or whatever, how thick is it. Okay, they offer by themselves. So it's became like kosher. Okay, it became like a legality of this. Okay, the monk even not can give hint. I want this and that and that. Yeah. So this is another thing that comes, the purity of this Katina, which the monk, they don't know what is going to get. So that the Katina really will be the good ceremony, or quality ceremony. So the monk himself that they choose, because all the Sangha, they're choosing only 1 monk, he will get this Katina. Okay. So the monk that they choose this, 1 monk that the community of the Sangha is choosing, he have to be the qualified to get this Katina. Okay, he will present, he will get this robe and he will spread it to the Sangha. He will share the merit with the Sangha later and extend. He's going to spread the Katina. So when all these occasions coming together, this is something like Katina. Katina is mean get together or collecting some things together. So this is one meaning of the Another kind of Katina, the meaning of the word Katina, it means heart, like a diamond heart. Okay? Because why? Because the merit that the people gain, also the monk, also the people that give the robe, this is very, very qualified. Actually, it's the highest giving all the years what people give to the monk in the robe. After, because the monk is very, very pure. And it's very difficult to achieve this. I practiced 3 months in traveling. So the merit that gained by this meeting, so this is very, very high and hard, strong, like a diamond. Okay, so that's why they call it also Katina. The meaning of another meaning of this, according to commentaries, this explanation or translation. So this is another meaning. It's like a heart, like a strong. Another meaning of the Katina, it's actually the form, the shablona. There is a wooden form, okay? The monks, they used to take a wooden form, or make by form like a square, and they are stretching on this, the robes, the new robes, what they get. First they have to wash it, then they have to color it. They take a water, they put saffron, or they put curcuma inside the water to boil it, and then they are preparing it as a color robes. And then they take another robe and they make a form of it, lines. And by this, they are sewing it. So they preparing the robes according to the form. You cannot do whatever you want, any kind of forms. Okay. And another thing is the monk cannot use one cloth, full cloth. You have to take pieces and to make with this. The robes is made by pieces, because also letting go the beautiful. And the second thing is if you are taking big robes, maybe the thief, you put it on the tree to dry it, the thief can steal from you. So like this, nobody wants it. So the form itself that they prepare the robes of the monk, it's called Katina. Okay, it's wooden robes. Okay. And another meaning of the word Katina, it's mean stability, okay, or solidity, okay, fixing. And this is actually, later I will tell you the story how this Katina come to be. The Buddha give privilege, he gives some kind of advantage. If someone finish the first pansa, some of the precept he don't need to keep. Okay, so this, not keeping this kind of precept, he can use it for 5 months. It means long time. Sorry, but okay, for a long time. So this stability of this, the long time of this privilege that the monk get it as a fix or very strong. So this is another meaning of this. Like I said, it's a 5 months that after the Katina or after the pansa, the monk he has this privilege. I tell you what kind of privilege he is getting and what is the occasion that he gets this privilege. So that's why the Katina also means stability or fixed or steady, okay? Or solidity. So this is 4 meanings of the word Katina. Now, what is the source? Where this Katina starts? The ceremony, this Katina ceremony, or offering the robes after the pansa, or when you see this stuff. So this is this story actually comes from Vinaya. From all the story about Katina, it's come from the Vinaya, from the precept of the monk. And this is, if anyone want to read or whatever, it's from Mahabharata. It's from the Mahabharata, the story is there. The story telling about 30 monks. I want to show you first map. I want to share with you the map. Yeah. Let's make it a little bit smaller. You can see. Okay. This is Nepal. I can take it out. Oh, maybe I will. Okay, I don't know that are not okay. Now you can see this, we are talking about north of India. Okay, north of India. This is Nepal. Now I want to talk about 3 villages, 3 cities. This city, now this is name, but in the time of the Buddha, it's called Phra. So the people, there is a 30 monks from Phra, where it's come from, this Katina. Why we are celebrating after we finish the pansa, we are celebrating the Katina ceremony. What is the reason we are celebrating? Where is the source? Where it's come from? Before I just explain you what the meaning of the word Katina itself. Ceremony is just a ceremony, okay? So what the behind of the name. And now I explain you where it's come from, or what is the story that it starts all this Katina ceremony, all this offering robes after the rainy season of the monk finished. This is only for the first pansa, it's okay. The second pansa, they don't get Katina ceremony. So, like I said, people from the monks from Phra, this is Phra. If you remember when we talk about when the Buddha passed away, so it's about 60 few kilometers from Kathina. The Buddha eat here the food. This is the place where the Buddha went. It's a different story, but anyway, maybe you can remember. So now this is the name of the city, but in the time of the Buddha, it's called Phra. And it was 30 monks. They know about the Buddha. Buddha stayed in Savatthi. Savatthi, I told you already before that it was 1 millionaire man named Anathapindika. And Anathapindika, he offered the most expensive land to the Buddha. Okay, it's called Jeta Grove, okay, the land of Jeta. And so the Buddha stayed there. Many pansa used to live there. And also it was one woman named Vassa. So this monk from Phra, they wished to come to do the pansa, the rainy season, the 3 months of the rainy season, the first pansa. Okay, so they intend to come on, they wish to come here on the full moon of July. But what happened? They walk this way, okay, till they come to the place called Saketa. This is you see now, this is the name of this village, but in the time of the Buddha, it's called Saketa. So what happened to them? They just, when the rainy season starts, the full moon of July starts, they just stuck in Saketa. So now they are missing. They say that between Saketa and Savatthi, in the book it's mentioned that the monks stay 60 kilometers. They still have to go 60 kilometers. If you count by the Google map, you will see it's about 90 kilometers. So it can be because in the time of the Buddha, we use 500 monks, 84, we just approximately, we talk about a lot, many. So that's why it can be different between what the physical distance and what is mentioned in the book. In the book, it's mentioned about yujana, how they call it. But if you calculate how many yujana, you're talking about 60 kilometers, something like this. But officially, it's about 90 something kilometers. But anyway, it doesn't matter about this. But they stuck there. So they just make the rainy season there. They miss, they need to do, they wish to have to do the pansa together with the Buddha, but they miss it. So they just stuck there, they cannot complete. If they leave, they will break the pansa. So they cannot complete the first pansa. This monk was very, very pure actually. They use, normally the monk have three, the set of robes is 3 robes. It's a Sangati, okay, this is this one, okay, we have Jivon, this is this one, okay, and we have Samun, this is the lower part. So only this, but some monks, they adding a little bit more, but they have only 3, they don't take more. They used to walk only eating with the arms more. Some of us, we eat in the plate or whatever, we go to invite. Invitation, people invite us, we go to eat in their home. But this monk, they was very pure. They're living in the forest monk, okay? So they like isolation, they like the forest outdoor, yeah? They're just living and going forest to forest, they're living under the umbrella. Okay? They don't live like us, we are living in the city. They are much more strict. So anyway, they just stuck there, and then the rainy season stayed, so they stay in Saketa. Now the time finished, the rainy season finished, they come to today, okay? This is the full moon of October, finished 3 months. And they decided, oh, we are actually not far from the Buddha, we should complete the way, at least to go to pay respect to the Buddha. So they continue to walk from Saketa till Savatthi, okay? Now you see, the name is different because it's the map of today. At that time, different names. Yeah? So they continue to walk, but the rainy season not finished yet. There are a lot of water. So they struggle. They get so tired, they get exhausted. When they come already to the Buddha, the water rush on them. They became very, something like wet all the body, okay, all the clothes. They go on the swim, okay, they go on the mud, they get dirty, and then trouble a lot. And then they reach to Savatthi, they come to the Buddha. They come to the Buddha, they pay respect. They pay respect, and then they say that the Buddha is so exhausted. And then when they come to the Buddha, after they pay respect, the Buddha start to ask them questions about what happened with them. So he asked them, how you keeping, how you are keeping, how you feel, okay, how it was with you, how it's going, okay, with you in the pansa, in the rainy season. Do you have enough support to the life? You need everything what you need is still you have with you. When you stay in Saketa, 3 months, you have to stay in one place. You have everything what you need. You say, did you spend the time comfortable with unity? Okay, between all of you, because there are 30 monks in very difficult situations. He said, have you been in harmony, friendly with each other? He asked, did you have any difficulties to get food, to get alms food, okay? So the monks said, no, everything was perfect, everything was good, we didn't miss anything, we can get enough food for ourselves, they were satisfied, they didn't complain anything. And then they share with the Buddha all the situations about this, that they wanted to come to meet them for the rainy season, but they missed the time, so they have to stuck there. And that's why they are. So the Buddha, he give them Dhammatalk, okay, he teach them Dhammatalk, and then the Buddha tell them that he's giving to the monk 5 privileges, 5 things that normally we have precept 227 precepts. But from this 227 precepts, he say, I will give you ability to feel comfortable, not to use 5 precepts, okay, and to make it more easy for you. And these rules that I give you the permission, privilege, okay, abilities, or is if anyone spread the Katina, it means if he will finish only the first pansa, and he will be able to, everyone that he spread the Katina or finish the rainy season, the first, he will get 5 privilege. And this privilege will be possible to keep for 5 months after the rainy season finish. What is this 5 privilege that the Buddha gives to the monks? The time he said in this talk, in this explanation, he said normally when the monk in the evening time, suppose he stay in the temple, okay, and there is more friends, more other monks, sangha, and he want to go to invitation somewhere afternoon. So the monk in his precept, he must report to another monk. He just must tell another monk or his group or his sangha, I'm leaving this evening. You don't look for me. I'm someone invite me. Okay. So one privilege that the Buddha gave to them, he said, you go out if you need to go out. You don't need to tell anyone. just you can go, and nothing harm to you. Something like promise to the monk that if they take actions like this, no damage as a karma will happen to them, damage or something. It means nothing will happen to them bad. They can live comfortable and nothing bad will happen to them. Another privilege that the Buddha said to the monk, normally when the monk is leaving the temple, so monk, like I told you, I have 3 pieces of the rope. We have this one, it's a sangati, okay? We have this, it's jivon, we call it, and sabun, it's the lower part. So, and then we have arms there. So the Buddha said that the monk normally, okay, by the precept, anywhere that the monk goes, he must take with them these 3 pieces of the rope. This is the rule of the monk. He cannot leave the temple. But the Buddha said, one privilege give, if the monk finish the Katina ceremony, he makes spread the Katina, then he can leave the temple without any, you don't need to take the Sangati, for example. You don't need to take all of them, okay, with them. And something like he promised that no bad karma will happen to him. Nothing, nobody will steal for him. You don't have to worry that someone will steal or make anything to the bad things to him. No harm will happen to him. This is actually the meaning of this privilege. That it's not that we don't give permission, you can do it. But no, you don't need to be afraid that something bad will happen to you. Okay? So this is the second thing, that you don't have to trouble yourself to carry everything with you. Okay? And then the third thing that the Buddha said, that if any group of monks invited, you can join to them, you can walk with them. Okay, so it means that now I think I can drop down the sharing. Okay, so you say that if there is an invitation of a group of monks, you can go with them. You can invite, if people invite a group, you can accept a group of monks, the invitation for the food, and no harm will happen to them, to this group of monks. They can go and they accept the food together. Okay, so they can join to them and nothing will happen to them. Now, like I said, that normally by the precept, the monk, he have these 3 ropes, but he cannot have many ropes. He cannot have many sets of ropes with him. Okay, so the Buddha give permission or privilege if the monk is finishing the Katina and spreading the Katina. So soon I will use the word, now I'm using the word spreading the Katina. So soon I will explain what the meaning of this. Okay, Katina, I explained it. This is actually the ceremony itself. It's called Katina Ceremony. Okay, so this you already related to this words. But that if the monk is doing this spreading of the Katina, so he can hold more than 1 set of ropes. Even he don't need, normally when we have the ropes, we need to make determination. This is my rope. But for people, the monk spreading the Katina or finish the first pansa, rainy season, and he got this Katina ceremony, he can have more than 1 set. And it will not be breaking precept. Nobody, if the monk is too much greedy, so it's not valid to him. Okay, I like you very much. But this is for the convenient, he don't break any precept, even if he's not making the determination for this. He just have it and he can use it for. Okay, as a convenient thing. So this is the 4 things. And the 5th thing, that the monk, which is finishing the first pansa, he allowed to get the Katina, the ropes in the Katina ceremony. Because if the monk didn't finish the first, or break the first pansa, he left the temple on the middle, and or either he start on the second pansa, we don't allow to get Katina ropes. Okay, so only if someone finished the first pansa, he is one that he allowed to get the rope, which is the idea of it. It's a very high merit. Okay, very important merit. So this is actually the 5 privilege, and like I said, they are valid not for all the years. You cannot keep all these rules. What the Buddha say, okay, I can break these rules. No, I don't need it. I can have many robes. I can get invitation without asking permission or whatever. You cannot do any time. This is valid from the moment that you finish the rainy season till 5 months. After 5 months, this is finished. Okay, it's not relevant anymore. You come back to the normal precept. So how it's come to be that so what happened is that this monk, when they come to the Buddha, he give them this Dhammatalk, explain them about this privilege, and what he have done, he offered them a robe. He give them a robe. So this is actually what we mean Katina, the robes, offering the robes. And normally the monk themselves, how they get the robes, they are going to maybe the graveyard, or they're going to the market, and they're collecting the rugs, the rubbish. Okay, the robe that left over. So they're washing it very good. Okay, they're washing it, and then they are coloring it with it. Like I told you, they take a bowl, they boil it with the water together with the saffrons, or maybe they use a curcuma or some kind of tree, flame for the tree. So they get colorful, and then they color this robe, and then they create it by the Katina, the form that I told you before. So this is how the monk normally make the Katina, the robe for themselves. In certain time, what happened is that the woman named Vassa, she saw these 30 monks coming like this, and she asked permission from the Buddha. Can you give me permission as a lay woman to offer robes to the monk themselves? So this is the first time when the Buddha gave permission for a lay person to offer a robes to the monk. And today, what happened is that the monk don't need to prepare the robes for themselves. The people just going and buying in the shop, prepare robes, and they offer to the monk. So the monk even don't need to make all this arrangement of coloring and everything like this. So when we do the Katina ceremony, the people normally giving to the monk already prepared robe what they buy in the shop. But they don't give it special to the monk. To whom they give it? They give it to the Sangha. So the Sangha getting the robes. Okay? Who is the people who can actually give this? Okay, so this is actually come to be the first Katina ceremony that the Buddha gives to them. So they were following this year by year. When the pansa finish, we make Katina ceremony. Katina ceremony can do only 1 month after the rainy season finish. You cannot do it all the time. Okay, who is the people, or who is the person that can offer the robes? Like I told you, the Vassa was the first one. Actually, Deva can give, angels can give, lay people can give, even monk can give. Suppose today I buy maybe, or someone give me robes, I can give it to the Sangha. I say, please, this is for Katina. Or someone can give. Okay, so you give it to the Sangha. And give it to the Sangha, and then the Sangha is using it to offer to one of the monks that they choose. So a nun also can give. Anyone that wants, he can give. Also Deva can give. And then when the Sangha getting it, they are giving it, they are choosing one monk, and they're offering this to the monk. And this is called, the monk, what he's doing is spreading the Katina. So now I want to explain you about this. This is called Katina Civarang, which means the Katina is coming together, and Civarang is the cloth of the monk. Okay, so they do this offering of the cloth of the monk during this ceremony. Like I said, the Sangha getting the Katina. The Sangha is choosing one of the monk from them that he is the one that able to get this Katina, this robe. Okay? And this monk, normally they will choose the elders. This monk also have to know how to behave with their robes. Okay, you need to know all the details, so they are choosing by themselves. If they will get robes, not the fully, they have in 24 hours to help them to prepare the new robes. They just get the rugs, they just get the cloth, and they have to prepare by themselves. You don't buy in the shop full cloth like the robes like we are dressing, so they're just getting cloth without not prepared. So they have to color it, they have to wash it there. So all the Sangha coming together, this is what we call samaki. They are coming, okay, or they gather together to prepare the robes, and at the end they're offering to the monk, which they choose. Okay, but like I said, today it's more easy. The monk don't need to do all these things, because when they offer, they just offer the robes, and then they go to the temple to make this spreading of the Katina. What I'm going to extend you the meaning of spreading. Then the monk, the group of the monk in the ceremony, they are getting the new robes. Okay, all the Sangha. They still not giving to one monk. All the Sangha getting. The Sangha by themselves, the people, they don't get involved. They just give it. The Sangha is getting this robe. They are choosing in between themselves who is the monk that is more suitable to get it. And then they going back to the temple. They must go to the temple, to the place what we call Sima. It's the boundary of the temple. They are going there, and then they're offering this robe to the monk that being chosen. Okay, like I said, this monk, he have to know how to prepare the robes, because suppose you need to prepare robes, but everybody will help. Okay, if no, you have to get advice. So they have to choose one of them which is suitable. Normally in Jomtong, they used to give to Ajahn Tom. He's the elders. We give to the elders. Why we give only to the elders? Because after this monk is getting the robe, then he's spreading the robe. But it's not mean spreading the robe, throw it on the floor. Spreading the robes, it means he share this merit with all the other monks that is there. Okay, he said, I'm spreading the robes, okay, I'm spreading the Katina to all of you. It means that the giving that the people give, or you as a monk, you give to me, and by our purity, I'm sharing the merit that we are gaining for this. You see, this is one of the reasons they call it Katina. It's very, very strong. It's a big merit. So we share it with all the other monks that finish the first pansa. So what happened is that he's getting it by presenting, but he shared these actions with all the others. So this is what means spreading, okay? He shared the merit, he spread the merit of it to the others. So other monks, they're also getting this 5 privilege. Not only him, yeah, because the actions is like we are sharing together the merit. One I'm getting, but all of us is gaining from this merit. Okay, so we declare, for example, if we get only one part of the robe, he will say, I'm spreading the Katina with this jibon, with this sangati, with this sabun, or whatever, okay? So all the monks, they are getting this merit or getting this privilege, all the sangha, okay? Okay, I say that we are coming in the temple that is, this ceremony must be in the temple and must be in the time that the monk offering must be in the temple, must be in the sima, in the boundary of the temple, and the monk that sharing the merit, they are by themselves, they are monks that stay together in the Katina, in the pansa. But which is the monk that can be presented or be in the ceremony itself when the people offering. Or this is not necessary to be monks from there. It can be any monk. It can be that's why if suppose one monk staying in the temple and he want to do Katina, they want to make Katina, so he can invite 4 monks coming from another temple. So now he will be 5 monks. And then the people can offer, and only he will get the Katina ceremony, Katina robes, because he's the only one from this temple. Okay, so the people will offer to the Sangha, and the Sangha, which is actually come from another temple, okay, they will make the Katina in his temple. So he will get the robe, and then he will spread the Katina with the others. So this is so if you see the monk staying there, this is different monk coming from different places. Okay, what we are doing in this Katina in the front of all the people, many people coming together for this because they're all in Thai, for example, Thai people in Thailand or maybe in Germany. Here in Israel, we make it only one time. Okay, it was possible monks came for this ceremony, gathering together. And how the ceremony starting, the first starting with this, the people themselves, the lay people, they're taking on themselves 5 precepts or 8 precepts, okay, and then they pay respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. The monks themselves, they give Dhammatalk also, and they share if they want to invite for food, then everybody going and eating and this. And then the people offering the robes to the monks themselves, the monks. And if they want to offer other things in this occasion, it's also considered to be very high giving. So people, they're supporting the temple, for example, they give money, they give other necessity things. They give offering to each monks. Okay, they're offering each, one monk, he will get the Katina, but they can offer to each monk also something, I don't know, necessity things or whatever, present, or they give to the community, to the temple in the ceremony. And then in the evening, normally they make some dancing and celebrating because they are very happy about doing the good things, the merit that they get. So this is lifting them up by this ceremony. I said that in this Katina ceremony, normally you offer robes to the monk, but it's not mean that you cannot offer the robes to the monk normally in the year. Okay, so this will not call Katina anymore. This will they call it pansa chivarang. Pansa chivarang, it means robes they throw over. Okay, they throw over because the monk they collect the robes all the year, but the power of the merit will not be the same. Even this is also good things, but in the Katina, like I said, this is the monks, they are more high, they are more pure. For 3 months, they only stay in one place, they was not wandering. Normally they are practicing, maybe they are teaching, so they are more capable to develop more concentration and mindfulness, okay, and to develop learning, maybe they are learning. So they are not wandering around. So that's why they consider to be more qualified, quality, and the mind is more developed. So that's why this Katina is very high. And normally when maybe you heard about the word, when you offer the robes during the year, this they call it papa. Papa. What's the meaning of papa? Pa, it means cloth. Pa, it means forest. So they use the word of forest cloth. And this forest cloth is offered you can offer every day. People coming to the temple, they do it every time. Yeah? Normally when people die, they invite the monk to give some chanting to the die. They're also offering the cloth to the monk because it's connected to the graveyard. So there is connection between the robes to the dead people. So that's why they make offering in this occasion. But this still not be Katina. In the Katina, everybody come together. That's why they call it Katina Samaki. Samaki, it means unity. Okay? The power of the Katina, for example, in one occasion in the scripture, it wants to show how high, the Buddha wants to show how high is the Katina itself merit, and then give example of one monk, one student of him. His name was Nagita Thera, the elders Nagita, and Nagita Thera, he actually was enlightened. And the Buddha wanted to explain what make him to be now his students, enlightened monk. And he tells that the reason of it, that one time this Nagita, he was giving the Katina robe to, in one occasion, in many reincarnations before, okay? He gave it as a dana, the Katina robes, and he reincarnate after this, the power of this merit. He reincarnate many reincarnations later, but all the time good reincarnations. He didn't fail. And then it's happened that in this occasion, he became as a student of the Buddha and even became enlightened. And this was the power of the Katina ceremony that he have done, the giving of the merit that he did. There is a few conditions that need to be done for the Katina. I told you about the purity of the Katina, okay? So how sensitive is it? So, for example, only the monk that they finish the first pansa, they can do it. The monks finish, they do the second pansa, they cannot participate. The monk cannot do 2 times Katina. If you go to one ceremony as a monk, you got the robes already for one Katina. You cannot go another times to another temple the same time this month that you are in the finish the pansa and to get another Katina, another robe. You get only one robe after the Katina. This ceremony, what we call Katina, is valid only for 1 month after the rainy season. After the rainy season finished, 1 month finished, then if the people leave to the monk, they cannot do any more Katina. They can give robes, but it's really papal. The Katina is giving to the group of the monk, the Sangha, and the Sangha is choosing the monk, okay? Sangha must be minimum 5 monks, because 4 monks, they are the Sangha, and they will offer it to the 1 monk, which will be the monk which is getting the Katina. So minimum 5 months. The monks which making the second pansa is not capable to get Katina. He can be in the ceremony, like I said, but he will not be able to get the Katina robe. The suitable times to make this ceremony, it's from when the sun rises until the next day when the sun rises again, okay? So it means from the morning of one day to another day, 24 hours. And in the past, when some people, also today, sometimes people, they don't give robes, full robes like this, they just give a cloth. And the monk, they are washing the cloth after they get the robes. So they have 24 hours to prepare robes and to offer it to the monk. You see, it's a lot of work. So sometimes every monk doing something, and still in some places, they are doing like this. They are keeping this tradition, okay? But most of us, we don't, most of the temples, we don't see all this. The monks, they don't trouble themselves like this. People just offer, they buy robes from the shop and they give it fully. So the monk don't need to work to prepare it in 24 hours. The monk, if I said before that the monk can invite other monks to come to share the ceremony, so it will be Sangha. So the other monks which coming from another temple, they are not capable to get the Katina robes. You must be you get the Katina only in your own temple. You cannot go to another temple to get Katina there. And like I said, and now one more thing, it's that this privilege of it's valid only for 5 months or something like that. Now, after the Katina finish, there is one more thing I want to mention, that there is something which called Pavarana. Pavarana, the meaning of Pavarana is something like permission, invitation, or presentation, or satisfied offering. And what is this Pavarana? Is I tell you a story that one time, group of monks, they go and make the pansa together. So they didn't want to quarrel with each other. They didn't want to create fighting there. So they decided that not to make problem to each other, they just keep quiet. They don't speak. And like this, they will spend the time 3 months nicely, because they don't communicate with each other. They don't talk anything. So if they don't talk anything, they don't have to quarrel. They finish the pansa, they are very happy. Very samaki, very unity, everybody happy. So they go to visit the Buddha. And then the Buddha asks them how it was. So they tell the Buddha, oh, it was very peaceful together. So how come? They just was keeping quiet. He said, this is not the way. You cannot stay 3 months and not communicate with each other, not talk to each other. And so they say, what to do? If we are quarreling, if we're fighting, the Buddha say, you have to forget and forgive to each other. You have to confess to each other. So what happened in this occasion? The Buddha said that after finish the Katina ceremony, the monk or the rainy season, the monk they have to do what we call Pavarana. It means one monk is coming to the group of the monk, to all the monks, and asking forgiveness. He say, if I make something wrong, please forgive me, okay, about my mistake during these 3 months. So you can talk, you can share the time together. But what to do if we make mistake to each other? So we don't need to keep quiet, but we have to ask permission from all the Sangha. So each monk telling this to the Sangha, that they ask permission or forgiveness if they make something wrong. Or if I make something wrong, please tell me about my things, about behavior. I will try to think about this too. So to change. So this is what we say, Pavarana, and this is also one thing we do after we make the Katina ceremony. So this is about introduction about what is mean Katina ceremony, where it's come from, what the meaning of this, and some details about the ceremony itself, what we do. Okay. Anyone have questions? Anyone want to know? By the way, I go to Germany about next week or something like this. And the end of the month, on the 30th, we do in Wat Buddha Pia, I'm in Frankfurt. So I will just share with them as a part of the Sangha. I cannot get their Katina, for example, okay? But they will choose one of them that stay there, and the one that is suitable to get. And he will be the one that we, all of us, will offer. So all of us, we will enjoy from the benefit of the Katina. He will spread to us the Katina. He will get this and he will share with us the merit about this action. This, for example. Please, anyone want to ask something?
I have a question. Is it today the first day of the Katina?
No, today we officially finish the rainy season. From tomorrow we can start the Katina. And tomorrow already they will do Katina in different places, maybe in Thailand, in Burma, in Theravada temple. Today not yet. Today is the day of Pavarana. Today is the day that the monks they're asking for forgiveness. They are sitting, for example, in Jomtong. I'm sure now it's night, but they was making ceremony, for example, with the day, and then they was asking forgiveness from the abbot, and then the people ask everybody, and then they ask forgiveness for the monk, and then they ask forgiveness for the nun, and then like this, the samanen, and then all of us, they ask forgiveness from each other.
Okay, and is it from tomorrow,
Yeah.
30 days or 1 month from starting
Yeah.
from?
Yeah, exactly. It will be for 1 month. After 1 month, cannot anymore do Katina. It will be Papa, normal Papa.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But in Germany it is end of November, I thought.
No, it's from the full moon. It's talking about no full moon. It's not November. Now we are in October, huh?
Yeah.
So, but it's because it's a full moon of October, because it's not about January, February, March. It's no, you don't count about November. For convenient talk, I say about November, October, but actually it's we talk about the months which is in the Pali or in the time of Buddha. Okay, so if I say that October, actually the name of October, it's different names. Okay, so. And we talk about full moon, and full moon it's the middle of the month. It's not the beginning of the month. So the name of October, for example, I say, one moment, I will tell you, just didn't mention related to this. Here. Asayoja, okay, so today it's the full moon of Asayoja. It's not mean about October, huh? We say October. But in November, it's Katika, okay? So full moon of what we call in November, it will be Katika. So this is the timing actually. But to make it convenient, we use the word of January, February, and March. And somehow it's falling in the same time. It's not change.
Okay.
It's about October, November.
Okay, thank you.
Please, anyone else? Good. So we pay respect again to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Aham Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Bhagavantam Bhagavate Savagato Bhagavata Namo Dhamman Namasam Subhadipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sanko Sankhan Namam. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Thank you.